So we are a boutique architecture and interior design firm based in Bangalore. I'm Sandeep Khosla, I'm the founder, and this is my partner Amaresh Anand. We're both principals of the firm and we both head the practice. So although our clients owned 2 acres of land, their requirements were quite modest. All they wanted was a 2-bedroom pavilion, as we call it. They were a family of 4, a young couple with 2 small children. And their idea was to escape the frenetic pace of Mumbai life and to reinvigorate the senses by coming to this beautiful location.
So the site is located in Maharashtra and in the Western Ghats. It's about 2.5-hour drive from Mumbai. And our site in fact is part of a hill and it's steeply contoured with the road on the top contouring down to the lake at the bottom. So we had to locate the plinth, as we spoke earlier, in a very strategic position that it was just away from the eyesight or from the street, yet high enough to exploit the views of the lake and the mountains beyond. The roof was a large overhang in order to protect the internal spaces from the harsh sun in the summer and the monsoon rains. When we did so, it affected the light penetrating into the building. Hence, we came up with these apertures or skylights which allowed for the natural light to penetrate into the interior spaces.
So our response to the brief was to create a plinth which was 65 feet by 110 feet rectangle, and on that we created our pavilion. There were 2 primary zones, one extroverted zone looking out to the deck, the pool and the view beyond, and one introverted zone which housed the 2 bedrooms. The extroverted spaces house an open kitchen which is flanked by a dining and a living on either side. This opens up into the deck and an infinity pool with a sunken seating. The introverted spaces house just 2 bedrooms for the family. Additionally, the bedrooms open into an intimate sunken courtyard. So this is our plinth, our box or pavilion on the plinth, and our hovering roof form. One of the most exciting elements of this design, which I want to talk about, is a series of skylights, abstracted forms that we created to admit the right amount of north light into the internal volumes to create a very soft quality of internal light, so that you really don't require an artificial bulb during the day. And these skylights quite lyrically echo the surrounding mountain peaks in their design. There's a deliberate detail where the walls of the house stop 6 inches short of the roof, and we've inserted a mesh in those 6 inches, allowing for an airflow via stack effect right through the house, so that the sea breezes flow and penetrate right into the house, and the house remains well ventilated right through the year.
So the materials were essentially basalt stone, cement rendered plaster, and kota. So we found the basalt stone about 5 to 6 feet beneath the earth. So we decided to use that in random rubble form for the exterior cladding and for a few internal accent walls. And the rest of the walls, we just rendered them in plaster, exposed cement plaster, which was then polished. And the flooring was essentially a combination of rough and polished brown kota in a pattern that led from east to west towards the view. The underside of the ceiling was in exposed concrete, and we used ply, light ply with these beautiful grains as cladding for the skylight. So we thought when the light filtered through it, it was very warm and soft. For the exterior windows and the internal doors, we used the sustainable wood, which were in a vertical format in order to break the horizontality of the roof.
So we used a great amount of restraint in the interiors of this house because we wanted the interiors to flow with the architectural narrative. So we sourced things locally. There was brass and copper vessels which we sourced from Nasik, Bidri ware from Aurangabad, all sourced within the state of Maharashtra. We said, look, let's look at the craft of Maharashtra for this house. There was a great deal of customization also in the project when we designed the furniture, for example. And it was all going along with the orthogonal lines of the building. One great example are the lights that we designed and manufactured. They are suspension lights which echo the shapes of the skylights.